is where a lot of people are different is we're very big on having a career plan. In today, today's day and age, and nothing personal against you two, but
we're podcasters. That's a career.
Yeah, exactly.
I specialize in debt.
Exactly.
I specialize.
If only your listeners could see
Hundreds
this
of thousands of
apartment
dollars,
and this makeshift studio.
Yeah.
So
it's not even ours. We just broke into someone's house.
Basically, I'm actually worried that the cops might come.
You know how many dates I've dressed this place up as pretending to be a Starbucks? Come in here, $2.
Yeah.
Kidding me?
Oh yeah. So when we're looking at it, other people say, listen, if he's a good guy, and the boys today don't have a plan, let's take a step back. It's not that the boys don't have a plan. I don't want to say that, but a lot of the boys take longer today to come up with the plan. And instead of coming up with the plan at 21, 22, they're taking a little longer.
They have more
Let
time.
me learn. Let me think about what I do. Let me try this, try that. And I'm not saying it's bad, but for my daughter, she wanted to know what's the plan, and that's because that's the way we were brought up, and that's why I brought up the kids. So a lot of it was personality, from kite level, and career plan. For us, I think those were the three main factors.
And how were you able to ascertain off of a resume if this guy had it?
Yeah, it's very hard. Some people do a lot of crazy checking. We do minimal checking. We look at the resume,
I like that.
Make a couple of phone calls, and then this is probably not a good plan, but I think what I did was, after it gets serious, 3-4 dates, I'd make a couple more phone calls. It's not really a good plan, and the reason is, at that point, they're involved, they're interested.
Too late.
It's too late. Those next two phone calls are meaningless.
But it preps you a little bit.
Yeah, it helps me a little.
Mellow things down.
Yeah, it helps me a little, and I think the main thing is, it's so you say yes, maybe you made a mistake because you didn't do enough checking, or maybe you made a mistake because you didn't catch some things on the resume that you should have been asking more. But at the end of the day, it's worth a try. Not everyone believes this. The girls don't want to get themselves dressed up and ready for a date for no reason, but sometimes the parents are like, hey, it's worth a try. You go out, but I think the big thing is the connection. I think the partnership, connection, the trust, the dialogue between the child and the parent, to come back from the date. And red flags are there so you could stop. The red flags are supposed to flag you to say, whoa, something's wrong, something's not right. The problem a lot is that either they're too young and inexperienced, they don't know that they're flags, or number two, they see the flags, they think it might be a problem, but they're they don't realize it because they like other things about it, so they put it behind. They
love going to that steakhouse.
Yeah, they throw it under the rug. The steakhouse.
I got to meet the parents. So,
and do you want, the question is, I agree with that, but the question is, even on the first date, do you even want the 2-minute chit chat, or do you want to cut that out too? That's the question for you guys.
Yeah, no, my experience is absolutely not. There's no point.
Avery's response
I'm dating.
I don't want to talk to you until the chuppah.
Right. Yeah.
Actually, till the will.
But I'll tell you,
I used to say I'd rather the parents, not be around.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
Not
I'll tell
alive.
you the flip side. There was one guy. There was one or two guys. And then maybe in their circles it's done, so it's okay. But they were literally texting my daughter, like, come out on the first
that I
date.
wouldn't do.
And that's not right. It's the first date. They're in the car. I think that's too much for the first date. At least knock on the door.
Yeah.
And then if you don't want the chit chat, I don't know what you do.
I would ask her to drive. I wouldn't tell her to text her to come out.
Drive is good. Yeah, that's
right. Like this, I sat him down and we were having a good conversation. And this just shows you why the chit-chat means nothing. You'll see in a second. Sat down, having a great conversation with this guy. So the 2-minute chit-chat turned into 7-8 minutes.
Oh, wow.
My daughter's already getting antsy. She doesn't like that. She doesn't want me talking to this guy.
By the way, you have to factor that in.
So I do factor it in. I used to say, I don't want to talk to you anymore because my daughter will scream at me.
Yes.
But then she got upset. She's like, you can't tell the guys that she screams at her father.
It's a cute line, but it doesn't work.
It was a great line. It
2020.
worked for the first 20 guys. After that, I stopped. Anyway, so this guy, I didn't say that. I talked to him, and it was going really well. We were having a fun conversation. He was laughing. And we get up to go, and we were still talking as we were getting up. I said, oh, my daughter's here now. And we start walking to the door, and he turns around. He goes, hey, listen, I have enough room in the car if you want to come also.
No way.
Which is an amazing line. Amazing. We were dying. Me, my wife, my daughter, dying laughing. I said, wow, we found the one. This is a true story. We were dying. Closed the door. My wife and I turned to each other. The guy was a good guy.
You're like already planning
Everything
the
was great,
engagement.
planning everything. We looked at each other and said, we found the guy. He has personality and good and this. He's me, everything good. We were dying laughing. My daughter comes home 3 hours later, and she's like, no, it was terrible.
Oh, wow.
I said, what do you mean? I'm still laughing from what he said. She said, Daddy, it was the first and last time I laughed the entire date.
Oh, my
Meaning,
gosh.
it was just
Oh, my gosh.
chit chat means nothing. He was able to chit chat with the
Yes.
father. Great. And we had
Exactly.
and I was made him comfortable, and we had a fun time, and he had a great line. I don't take that away from him. But after that, it was all downhill. So what does that mean?
Yeah. And you learned,
Yeah.
and you
So
learned.
you
by the way,
can't
you
open
learned
too
it.
strong. You got to save your best. Yeah.
No, not even just that, but you
Well, that's
learned
what it
that
means.
lesson, by the way, which was good. Like you don't know what goes on in between them in the car on the date alone. It's so different. It's so different.
Nobody talks, nobody talks, nobody talks shidduchim.
This is the Nobody Talks Shidduchim podcast.